One of the unique things about being a CFO for a company that sells financial software is my team is typically the very first customer for SAP Concur. I think when you're in a growth mode, you're constantly coming up against new challenges, new things that you can't plan for. Every new market we go into is going to have unique rules, whether it's tax rules, rules around automation of receipts and what documentation has to be stored. Understanding the requirements of those markets is the first thing we do. My role as CFO obviously is to mitigate risk not only for our company but also for our employees. So understanding where those risks are, understanding how those employees are impacted is helpful to me in terms of making sure that we have the ability to still do our jobs and make sure our employees are in a position where they can be safe and still stay out of harm's way. The safeguards we have in place for ensuring employees are in compliance with our travel policies are actually embedded in the tool itself. I like to think of finance as a partner that enables the business. The relationship between finance and IT in our organization, it's something where we work closely together to make sure that the entire back office can function in a way that we can minimize our cost and maximize our efficiency. So it's important to our stakeholders that we get them timely and accurate information so then they can turn around and make those good business decisions. I like to challenge my team to go a step further and be involved and engaged in those decisions and bring an additional perspective that maybe the business owners don't have. You can look at it all as one comprehensive view and get a really good understanding of where are you spending money in your company. Where are your biggest risks, where are your biggest opportunities, and where would you benefit the most by directing spend in the future. Having the opportunity to automate processes in a way that can scale where you don't have to keep adding headcount to support those back office functions, I think is key to success.
Got me feeling kind of strange today. Something in the town has gone insane, and they are coming after everybody every day, not just the end of month. Doesn't matter if you're working all the way, needing to escape from all the dreadful days.
SAP コンカーならあらゆる支払い方法と自動連携、入力ですでどこでも精算。
Well, we're expensing it anyway, right? So I'm gonna have the chicken. I'm gonna have the chicken. This is the best chicken at any lobster restaurant.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for attending the SAP Concur webinar on optimized cash flow management when automating financial processes. I'm Hermie Chu, Territory Director of SAP Concur. In the recent PwC's COVID-19 CFO Pulse survey, we found that the majority of finance leaders anticipate a significant effect on their bottom line. More than half, which is 53% of them, expect a decrease in revenue and/or profits of up to 25% as a result of the crisis. With many businesses planning or embarking on phased reopenings, finance leaders need an agile plan to navigate the economic downturn and shore up working capital to better prepare for the acceleration of businesses. In the coming 45 minutes, SAP Concur and our partner HSBC would explore with you how to optimize cash flow management by automating the corporate spend processes, with better visibility, cost control, and compliances, as well as what are the latest business-to-business payment trends. First of all, I would like to briefly introduce SAP Concur. SAP Concur has been focusing on delivering the best spend management solution to the market for more than 27 years. It drives a relentless pursuit of what's possible into everyday travel, expense and invoice processes, continuously developing new tools to automate and integrate them. Right now, SAP Concur has over 46,000 customers in 150 countries, including 75% of Fortune 100 and 500 companies, and taking up 54.1% of market share around the world. SAP Concur provides a robust and scalable cloud-based platform that can manage a large volume of data. In a typical day, there are over 2 million users logged in and up to 700,000 expense reports are being processed. Here's our agenda today. Firstly, Victor Hui from SAP Concur will share with us the top tips for finance on cash flow control in corporate spend management. Then we will have Gloria Sun, Senior Commercialization Manager from HSBC, to talk about the cashless future of commercial payments. Afterwards, Kinson Lam, our Solution Consulting Manager of Greater China, will join with Gloria for the Q&A section. Now, let me pass the mic to Victor for his sharing. Thanks, Victor.
Thank you very much, Hermie. Hello, I'm Victor Hui, Pre-Sales Solution Manager in SAP Concur. I would like to share with you on some tips for finance department about what kind of cash flow control can be in place for managing the corporate spend on expense, travel, and invoice of your organizations, which is particularly important to you nowadays. It is no doubt that a lot of organizations have already been compounded by this long list of finance challenges and considerations you have to take care as priorities every day. By looking at following challenges about corporate spend management, you may be echoed with some of them. For example, heavy administration loading for the employees who made the claims because of the manual and tedious process, missing receipts or invoices by accidents or non-compliant behavior, long cycle times and bottlenecks in approval due to manual workflow process, ineffective reporting and spending analysis, compliance issues with internal policy, or even fraudulent invoices and claims are found. Reconciliation for credit card transactions is also a challenge. Among these, which of these areas presents the biggest challenge to your business? Furthermore, a recent survey has been done by Concur and research specialist Benson Bourne with 500 accounts payable and finance professionals in UK. The amount of time spent on various activities in every week in finance department were analyzed in the survey, as you can see in the chart. Surprisingly, the time spent on general administration tasks are unreasonably greater than managing cash flow, since a lot of time in finance departments were also taken up by other administration tasks. The top challenge is how you create the bandwidth for your finance team to spend more time on effectively managing cash flow and providing advanced visibility into corporate spend. According to the studies from some consultancy firms, the following corporate spending strategies will be suggested in order to manage the cash flow in a strategic way. First, you need to boost productivity through the initiative of digitalization. Second, proactive management of cash outflows in order to have a better pre-spend and budget control. Third, you need to minimize any out-of-policy spending with effective enforcement of spend policy within your organization. Fourth, you also need to increase the visibility in order to achieve cost optimization. Finally, you will try to optimize your cash flow by deploying card payment solutions. I will talk about first strategies in my presentation, and I will leave the last strategy, which is to optimize cash flow with card payment solutions, to Gloria from HSBC right after my section. Now, let's take a look on what kind of spending you usually have in your organization. In a typical organization, there are two types of employee-driven expenses that have to be dealt with. The first one is employee-driven indirect vendor spend, which includes utilities, marketing expense, IT purchases, services, general office supplies, etc. The other one is employee spend, which is also initiated by the employees, including travel and local expenses, cash advances, entertainment, communication expenses, etc. No matter what kind of spend, it is all impacting the cash flow of your organization. For vendor spend, the SAP Concur Invoice module can be used, while the employee spend, the SAP Concur Travel and Expense module can be adopted. These two modules are fully integrated into one single cloud platform. All the functions can be accessible through the same web interface and the mobile app. I would like to bring you to have a closer look on invoice management first, which deals with the vendor spend. Let me explain a little bit about different types of vendor purchase that are quite popular for an organization. For example, utilities, which are recurrent every month and usually need to allocate to different cost centers. As for office supplies and ad hoc purchase, the employees would like to see how to initiate purchase and payment more efficiently in order to increase the productivity. For example, you see a printer is out of the order, you want to purchase a new replacement as soon as possible. There may be some cross-year projects that need to have stringent requisition flow and project progress monitoring requirements. The other type will be event-driven, which requires the employees to confirm purchase decisions quickly while monitoring budget consumption in near real-time manner. Remember that there are a lot of administrative and manual tasks in finance department in the study I previously mentioned. The best strategy is to adopt digitalization to automate the end-to-end invoice management process in order to save employee time and increase their visibility and control. Let me go through it briefly right now. Imagine that you want to purchase a printer for your office. You can create a purchase request in Concur and submit for approval. When your manager approves the purchase, he or she can see the budget impact and approve on mobile or web at any time and anywhere. Once approved, PO can be automatically generated and ready to be sent to the vendor. When you receive the printer, you can also mark the receipt in the system if necessary. Afterwards, you get the invoice from the vendor through email. You can simply upload this electronic invoice to this platform or scan the hard copy of the invoice into the platform. Concur automatically extract the invoice details through OCR technology. The key information including vendor name, invoice date, invoice number, and amounts, as well as the key line item information including product description, quantity, and amount, will be captured. In this case, a lot of the data entry time has been saved. Once the invoice details are populated in the system, embedded policy check helps me to identify any exceptions that I need to be aware of, such as mismatch of the PO and invoices. After checking is done and invoices are matched, I can submit the invoice online. System can route the invoice to corresponding approvers automatically according to your rules. Approvers can approve on mobile or web at any time to shorten the approval process. Subsequently, this invoice can go to finance for final check and be posted to the accounting system. With such digitalization process in place from end to end, the finance department will save more time for better cash flow management. As for the strategy on the pre-spend budget control, an employee can raise a purchase request specifying what kind of product or services to buy. Before the manager approves the purchase request, they care about not only the rationale behind this request, but also the amount and the impacts to the budget as well. The manager can see the near real-time visibility on the budget, how this request amount can impact the budget, where were the budget spent before, and the trend of the spending, etc. In order to allow the manager can make better decisions right at fingertips, he or she can also see the budget performance and related information in Concur mobile app, same as the web interface as well. Therefore, near real-time pre-spend control can be achieved. In the budget dashboard, on top of the overall budget status, you can see more details like who is spending or who has spent, and how much is the amount. What is the spend purpose? When it happened? How did it affect my budget in terms of the percentage? This information is very important to the budget owners, as they can look into where to allocate the resources and ensure spending is in line with the budget. It helps them make sure that a wiser and more informed spend decision can be made. The other strategy is about effective enforcement of spend policy. Can be set up to check the payment request against company policies to enforce proper control upon the submission. For example, the audit rules can be based on the invoice number, vendor name, expense type, and invoice amounts to identify duplicate invoices. We can also trigger additional approval flow if the requested amount is above a certain amount. This will safeguard the possibility to overpay the suppliers and make sure outgoing cash are really in line with the business initiatives and requirements. In terms of strategy on increasing the visibility on the cash flow, a lot of companies would have different expenses shared by other departments or projects. For example, rental costs, marketing event costs, or IT project costs, which will be allocated to different projects, cost centers, or product lines. In Concur, users can easily use a drop-down list or templates for cost allocation. The Concur platform can automatically route to the corresponding cost owner for approval, so that you will be able to see the granular analysis on which department or project has spent the money. The corresponding owners will also know what to spend or what has been spent. With this cost allocation feature, cash flow can be managed much more precisely. In order to increase your visibility and finance efficiency, you may want to know more granular analysis of your vendor spend. For example, what are the top spenders in your organization? How much you spend on certain vendors? What are the spend trends for different expense types? With such kind of information, you can think about if you can negotiate better terms with those vendors you have spent a lot with to save some costs. Is there any unnecessary expenses you can prevent or impose more control on? All these spend decisions are very critical to the business survival and profitability of an organization right now. When you want to have a better picture on the cash flow and liabilities in your organization, how do you do it right now? You may ask, how easy is it for accounting department to see accurately all invoices that have been received but not yet been paid? For a paper-based process, the accounting department can see those invoices only after manager approval is completed, which may be a bit late. With an invoice platform, the accounting department can have instant visibility into all outstanding payables to the suppliers, no matter what stage of the process the invoice sits. This allows business to efficiently manage their cash flow and accruals and avoids any surprises. Some customers told us that it is very difficult to get visibility into all committed spend prior to invoices arriving and being key into their finance system. This is particularly important for the multi-period project costs. Concur Invoice Platform can provide a report that shows all invoices received against each purchase order. This provides a summary total of the invoice received and, most importantly, an outstanding balance for the overall purchase order, providing that visibility into committed spend. After discussing invoice management, let's shift our discussion to the travel and expense management. Although there is less chance to travel right now, I'm pretty sure that when we see a massive uptick of the business travel and related expense after COVID-19 is over, Concur T&E platform can help your organization transform by increasing employees' productivity, enhancing compliance and control on the employee spend, and improving the cash flow management. Before we go into the detail, I would like to bring you with a 4-minute video called The Perfect Trip, which explains how SAP Concur carries the vision of expense report writes itself. Let's see how Concur platform can execute this vision in the end-to-end journey.
Hello, my name is Jessica Choi, Regional Sales Manager at SAP Concur. Today, I'm going to show you just how simple the end-to-end travel and expense process can be with SAP Concur and our partners. I'm going to Singapore to meet with a client for lunch meeting, and the meeting is now confirmed. I've added SAP Concur as an attendee, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. Now I'm going to book my flight and hotel to Singapore, arriving the day before so I can prepare for my customer meeting. All I need to do is input the travel dates, and here I see all the flight options. And this is the one I want. I want to stay in a hotel near my customer. So I'm going to search for my hotel right here, and I don't even need to go to another website. I can see the corporate rates of the hotels, and that's the one I want. This itinerary will be sent directly to my manager for pre-approval. She can see the total travel cost versus the available travel budget, even on the go. Once the request is approved, I now have a single itinerary that includes both my flight and hotel. The best thing about it is that it's fully integrated and that my ticket is issued automatically after the request is approved. Now that my ticket has been issued, my company's HR manager will also receive a notification. This allows the company to perform their duty of care obligations. Now everything's set in place and I'm off to Singapore. Oh, I just received an SMS. Looks like the weather in Singapore is slightly hazy these days. In cases of emergency, my company can pinpoint my location, communicate with me via SMS, and even send help if necessary. I'm going to book a Grab to my hotel and ensure that I'm traveling on my business profile. Great, it'll be here in 2 minutes. Thanks to the partnership between Grab and SAP Concur, the receipt will automatically flow into my expense report. No receipt, no hassle. And it really highlights the power of an integrated ecosystem. Now that I've checked in, I'm going to prepare for tomorrow's meeting. I've just had a very successful meeting with our customers, and now that they're happy, it's time for me to pay. I simply need to take a photo of the paper receipt using my Concur app, and through the OCR technology, the receipt data will automatically be captured. Because I added Concur in my Outlook calendar invite, as you saw earlier, everyone at this lunch meeting gets populated as meeting attendees. All of this information then gets matched to the corporate card transaction that appears in SAP Concur. After I check out of my hotel, I simply forward my hotel e-receipt to SAP Concur, and my expense report is being automatically generated. Oh, and it looks like my Grab is here. I'm off to the airport again. Now my trip is over, and all the expenses occurred during the trip has been automatically integrated with SAP Concur, and it's all sitting right here. From the airfare to the itemized hotel bill, the Grab ride, and the business lunch with the attendees, the expense report pretty much wrote itself. The daily meal allowance will also be calculated based on my travel itinerary. For me, it's been effortless. Once submitted, my manager can approve my expense report on the go. My CFO has instant and accurate visibility to where employee spend goes. She can manage the company's bottom line better by saving costs through process efficiencies and policy compliance. My colleagues in procurement can see top spend categories and vendor analysis, which allow for better negotiations with suppliers. They can also quickly determine how we measure against budget and take appropriate actions. Thank you for joining me on this trip to experience how simple business travel and expense reporting can be.
As you see in the video, with Concur T&E platform, you can effortlessly manage end-to-end expense claim process through digitalization. Being an employee, you can file expense claims not only through the web interface, but also via Concur native mobile app at any time and anywhere. Suppose that I'm the employee who need to take a business trip or need to get my client entertainment expenses for pre-approval. After I have submitted my request, my manager can use his or her mobile to approve it. In the meantime, the manager can check if my request exceeds the assigned budget. The manager can also see the budget trending and consumption details on mobile. If it is okay, the manager will approve on the mobile. After receiving the approval message from my manager, I can use Concur Travel, which is a consumer-grade online booking tool, to book my flights and hotels. With Concur Travel, I can easily search those preferred airlines and hotels that are compliant to the company policy at anywhere and anytime. During the trip, I pay the meal with my corporate card. Such transaction will be posted to the Concur platform automatically. After I took Uber, since my Uber profile was connected with my Concur profile, the e-receipt from Uber will also automatically be placed into my Concur account, thus reducing a lot of manual input and avoid human input error. For those transactions paid by cash, I can take a picture on the receipt using Concur mobile app. With OCR technology, relevant expense items information will be captured and the transaction will be automatically classified for me based on the machine learning technology. It reduces the input effort. This is also very useful when the receipt is lost by accident. Concur platform will also allow the customer to put the audit rules and policies in the system. For example, meal limit. If it is over, the system will prompt the user and manager with an alert. From the company point of view, it is to ensure compliance throughout the organization, and the employee claim behavior can also be fine-tuned. After I have submitted the expense report, my manager can be notified and approve my expense report using mobile app. My manager can see the necessary details such as policy exception, receipt images at fingertips. Mobile-enabled process shortens the entire processing time. Concur is a global platform with localized ecosystem partners such as Uber in US and Europe, Grab in Southeast Asia, Didi in mainland China, and Taiwan Taxi in Taiwan. With these ecosystem partners feeding the transaction information, employees save the data entry effort and finance saves the data checking time as well. The system can also integrate with WeChat to capture and authenticate the e-Fapiao in mainland China. Such automation helps companies to achieve tax compliance. The other strategy we talk about is about pre-spend and budget control. First of all, your company may consider having a control on gift and hospitality claims for the entertainment expenses and reducing overspending situations. For some industries, in order to be compliant with the anti-bribery law, attendees tracking for the meal entertainment is very important. Usually different attendee types have different restrictions, for example, spend limit for attendee, frequency, etc. You would like to make this simple to capture the information. In Concur, you can forward the email invites to Concur platform so that all the attendees' information can be automatically reflected in your expense item. The organization can also compare requested amount with the actual amount as shown in the expense report. In order to see if there is any overspending, the employee will be adjusted to be more responsible for their spend behavior. With the budget function, you can foresee how the expense will impact the budget, who impacted the budget most, to what extent the budget will be affected. With above measures, then you will be able to strengthen the control on gift and hospitality expenses and reduce overspending situations. Therefore, the unnecessary spending will be avoided and more cash will be saved. For the strategy of effective enforcement of spend policy, we see that a lot of organizations have different T&E policy for different cost centers, staff profiles, and expense categories. For example, regional and local office employees may have different hotel spend limits. Expatriates may be granted to access certain benefits such as club membership claims. It can be a challenge for employees, managers, and finance to understand all these rules. With Concur, you can set the audit rules with granular parameters in the system. System can then automatically check the entitlement and alert the employee accordingly. Therefore, the employees would immediately know the expense policy in a personalized way. It is a more efficient way to educate employees on the current policy and encourage them to become more responsible for the spending. If necessary, the system can route to the corresponding personnel accordingly to ensure proper control in various situations. Besides flagging out the exceptions during the expense claim process, many organizations would like to have regular review of spend policy execution to evaluate execution effectiveness and room for improvement. With SAP Concur, organizations can look into pre-built compliance analysis. They can see the compliance trending and drill down to see if certain exceptions are attributed to certain employees in particular situation. Organizations then get actionable insights on what to do next, such as spend policy training or policy revision. As for the strategy of visibility, many organizations worry about the hidden non-compliant expenses. One of the common sources would be the hotel spend, which may hide away some out-of-policy items such as minibars or movie if there's no breakdown in expense report. If employees are asked to break down the spend, it can be very time-consuming and error-prone task. With Concur, employees can simply email forward the hotel folio to Concur platform, and the itemization will be automatically done for them. Rules can be set to highlight the out-of-the-policy item and enable the employee to declare any personal charges during hotel stay. With such feature, the organization can easily identify out-of-policy spending and will not need to bear the personal expense of the employees. Concur also offers you a simple and flexible cost allocation function to allocate your expense by different dimensions like product lines or brands, marketing events, projects, etc. You can allocate the cost in expense report level or line item level using percentage or a lump sum amount, similar to our Concur Invoice platform. Where necessary, the expense report will be routed to different cost center owners for further approval. Now, you can get a granular cost analysis and see where the money goes, which help you achieve a better spend optimization. By capturing granular data, organizations can analyze spend in many different dimensions. They can then understand what are the main cost drivers to assist better cost optimization decision. For example, line manager would like to see who will spend most in a certain period of time so as to minimize the unnecessary expenses. On the other hand, the procurement manager would probably like to see which suppliers they have spent more with so that they can reduce the vendor cost by negotiating better rates and terms with these vendors. Moreover, if you want to spend on what matters most, you can see the granular cost analysis report for different cost centers and projects. You can see how much have been spent for some customers, projects, or events. Even the sales department can make any adjustment in their business strategy in order to optimize spending. If your organization have already been using corporate card for T&E expenses, such as HSBC corporate credit card, there are out-of-the-box integration with the Concur. This is a report showing which credit card transactions are still outstanding for expense claims. This helps you know ahead how much employees have spent, and you can reserve enough cash to pay for these transactions, as well as remind the corresponding employees for these outstanding transactions. For organizations who have automated both the invoice and T&E processes, they would like to see the two types of expenses together to have an unified picture of their total spending. For example, if there is a project which has some project indirect costs and some employee spend as well, such as traveling and meal entertainment, etc., you would like to have a total picture on both spending. Usually, CEO and CFO would like to see the dashboard where they can see where the expenses going to, which business unit, which region of my organization, which expense category we spend most, what is the spend trend, what is the amount of spend in each quarter, etc. With such information, the management can make sound business decisions on how to prioritize and optimize their spending among countries, business units, or expense categories, etc. SAP Concur can also be integrated with other business operational data so that the spend data can be correlated with the other business matrix. For example, if your employee spend is X dollars amount, does it mean that your sales team can produce certain proportional amount of revenues? You can try to compare these figures with different sales teams and different product lines so that you can allocate money or variable resources wisely according to your business plan to optimize your spending. In summary, I have mentioned the following tips for the finance on cash flow control in your organization. Boost productivity through digitalization, proactive management of the cash outflows with pre-spend and budget control, minimize out-of-the-policy spending with effective enforcement of spend policy, achieve cost optimization by increasing visibility, optimize cash flow with card payment solutions. For the last tip, optimize cash flow with the card managed payment solutions, I will leave this part to Gloria to explain more in details.
Well, we're expensing it anyway, right? So I'm gonna have the chicken. I'm gonna have the chicken. This is the best chicken at any lobster restaurant.
Thank you, Victor. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Gloria from HSBC Commercial Card Business. Today, I'm going to share with you the payment transformation journey towards the cashless future of B2B payments in a commercial environment. Commercial cards offer buyers and suppliers numerous benefits. To realize their full potential and extend their reach, card providers have created different prototypes to offer integrated solutions that deliver incremental value to our clients. Emerging, rapidly evolving technologies have forever altered the payment landscape. The universal desire to improve efficiency, respond to innovation, and reduce operational risk is driving the worldwide reform of payments. We hereby share with you a suite of benefits and offers designed to enhance the efficiency of your business processes and improve your bottom line. T&E, travel and entertainment, and centralized travel card are tailored for frequent travelers who need to settle business-related expenses, such as airline, hotel, meals, transportation, and meetings. It offers conveniences such as the ability to set limits on employee spending and to restrict spending to certain categories. Most also offer features that make it possible to track expenses easily. While for purchasing card, it is a type of commercial card that allows organizations to take advantage of the existing credit card infrastructure and to make business-to-business payments for a variety of business expenses. Recently, there has been an explosion in the use of virtual card by business. A virtual card is a digital payment solution used for online purchases and phone orders. Credentials are randomly generated through web-based portal, and the card numbers come with built-in financial controls, allowing you to single-use or multiple-purpose payments. The digitalization of B2B transactions is accelerating, and commercial cards constitute a readily available solution that meets many of the critical requirements of settlement between buyers and sellers, including transparency, security, and process efficiency. Commercial card technology can ease multiple pain points in B2B payments. But as today's industry players reveal, the commercial card opportunity is often bigger in areas outside of the payment. We are looking beyond traditional corporate card use. It is a concern that is most commonly focused on the long tail of suppliers, where transactions may be high volume but low value, infrequent, or even just one-off. Companies want to find an efficient way, especially for procure-to-pay process, to pay with those suppliers. Boost Payment Solutions recently about the growing list of commercial cards value propositions for both corporates and their suppliers, with data at the top. Apart from travel and entertainment expenses, corporates in general need to manage lots of vendors' payment. For example, office supplies, stationeries, marketing, media, telco, and computer software hardware. While the idea of empowering employees to better control their procurement spend, improve transparency and cost savings, it is a great enabler to get access to a streamlined buying and payment channel at lower costs. Now, let's have a look at how B2B transactions can be streamlined. To run a business, in general, there are a lot of vendor payments, such as social media, advertising, office equipment, catering, software subscription, postage, and courier. To begin your payment revolution, it is recognized that there is an issue with the payment process. Implement automation into the paying out process, which will eradicate the problems that crop out during the manual procedures, such as lots of invoices to process for various vendors, which could be in different payment cycle and different payment terms. There could be a situation some corporates are still using petty cash, check, and bank transfer. With this manual arrangement, it has prolonged overall account reconciliation and payment flow. We are in an age where corporates expect to get things done with ease. Payments need to be efficient and keeps customers engaged with short processes and strict payments. From finance perspective, it provides a working capital solution by improving cash flow. Data is another important element to analyze consumer spend behavior, spend pattern, and reimbursement information. Today, some commercial card players are creating modern, user-friendly solutions through the intelligent use of technology. In a B2B environment, as what we have just mentioned, using commercial card can ease the payment flow, consolidate multiple payments into one single platform. The possibility to offer a truly customer-friendly, innovative solutions along with a low-cost structure. The overall process can become simpler, shorter, and more transparent. For this reason, virtual card is a rising star in B2B payment environment. To elaborate more on virtual card solutions, it is an evolving trend in the payments industry. Its technology has gained significant traction in the marketplace. Why? This is to mitigate risk, increase spend visibility, enhance control, and streamline overall payment procedures. There are some unique features of virtual card. It is a non-plastic solution. While finance or accounts payable can present merchant categories, specific merchant names, single or multiple use within an expiry date when you settle payment with suppliers. The unique card numbers can be generated on a real-time basis. Writing on B2B can also improve vendor management partnership, connect merchants with producers. Automation technology is looking to transform the role of the buyer and supplier relationship. Let us look at why digitalization is gaining importance. Establishing brand reputation can be in different channels, such as program marketing and place advertising in social media, such as Google, Facebook, Yahoo, YouTube, Amazon, as well as other well-known payment gateway, for example, eBay and PayPal. In Hong Kong, we observe many corporates are using social media channels to promote their products and services. These help to expand audience reach ranging from students to adults, from consumers to commercial, from SME to large organizations, improve the span in which company onboard customer in a more efficient way. Digital businesses must prioritize shopping experiences that are just as fluid as the users conducting them. Some shoppers may choose to start their checkout journey from their desktop, and they decide to finish up their transactions from a mobile device anywhere and anytime. These effectively taking steps towards maximizing the conversion rate. There are some common seen pain points when settling digital advertising expense through a traditional way. They include labor-intensive for managing tons of checks, shorter payment terms, and require lots of manual effort to reconcile payment details. As you see the pictorial illustration, customer means buyer or corporate. Social media platform, for example, Facebook, Google, Yahoo. Merchant acquirer is a party who onboard the suppliers as card-accepted merchant. Card scheme is referring MasterCard, who is a card processor, and HSBC is a card issuing bank who provides virtual card. The best practice sharing is leveraging virtual card platform to settle payment with social media agencies, as they have already accepting card. The payment process is very straightforward, which allows corporate to enter customized field, such as invoice number, product description, call center, when generating the unique virtual card number for payments. We also understand that control is one of the key factors from a treasury or finance perspective. This is to avoid any risk, misuse, and unauthorized transactions. Commercial card solution becomes more mainstream in terms of how companies pay each other. There is more of a focus on the best payment method to exchange data. To summarize, while companies have embraced digital payment solutions to gain efficiency and minimize manual effort, more importantly, technological solutions that act as a bridge to link the speed, flexibility, and diversity for online B2B payments. The technology advantages of commercial card can bring benefits of data integration, improve cash flow, and enhance control in the long run. We are seeing continuous growth in this space. It's growing and accelerating. My presentation is coming to an end. Thank you for your time. Now the next session is Q&A. I will hand it back to the host.